to be seen of others, to prove that I am a nice person or sensitive to others, I believe the way you described it, you weren't waiting for someone to pat you on the back. But how often do we do something? It's like, here, let me give you an example, okay? I'm in the kitchen, the dishes aren't done. And maybe I'm a little bit frustrated because I can't even access the faucet. And so I start doing dishes and making extra noise. I'm a good person, right? I'm doing the dishes, bam! But where's my heart?
No, you wait until someone comes into the room.
Okay? But notice, but again, the act is an act of kindness, maybe. But the motive by which it's being performed is not even close. Again, a self-betrayal of who we really are. I'm a kind person, and that is not a kind-hearted action. Does that make sense? So our motives behind what we're doing, are we betraying ourselves?
And that's, and all of this is actually like, it's, I wouldn't say borderline gospel, but like, it's so true to how everything is. Banging the pots and doing the stuff in the kitchen, the praise is the reward, that's it. That's all you're going to get out of it. But if you're doing it just because the dishes need to be done and I'm just going to do it, sometimes I see myself in that situation, I've been in that situation, I'm going to do the dishes a little bit more sneaky or kind of be a little bit more quiet as I can, because then it's just done. Whether I get praise or not, it was more fun to kind of be sneaky. But is that really, am I being, that and there lies the problem. Am I being sneaky? Is that my reward right there too?
For yourself?
Yeah, like.
Good question. Okay, Bryce.
I never thought about it.
Bryce and then Haley.
So I knew another in my mission. He just walked into our apartment and like we talked to him. I totally just kind of, I wanted to forget he was there, but I was talking to him other things. Like he just started doing dishes, and like he do it to everyone, and I hated him because, like, not first of all, I kind of wanted to be like him. I didn't actually hate him, but I was like, no, Elder, stop. Like I can do my own dishes. You don't have to do anything. He's like, oh no, it's okay. This is my way to serve. Like he wasn't being prideful about it, but I just wanted to be kind of like him. I wanted to have to automatically serve people without doing that or without being like, I'm awesome, guys, check this out. Or sometimes I'll do my dishes and I don't know how loudly I'll do them, but like I'm grateful when other people see me doing them just so they know that I'm pulling responsibility. Like I'm not like slacking off, and I hope that it helps them to be clean as well, sort of thing. I don't know what kind of reward I'm getting that. If it's a clean place, I think I'm okay with that. But like, I don't know, it just depends on what's happening.
And where are your motives? Are you doing it to call attention to yourself? Then you might want to look at that. Are you doing it for yourself, or are you really trying to be kind? Is that kindness really for yourself? Mm-hmm. Is this the question? Haley, you got something?
Yeah, so those of you who are like Mormon and go to church, you know, we all know those people who make other people projects, right? Right? We all know those people.
I've been that project, sorry. I've been that project.
No, it's frustrating, right? And but then there's those people who are actually just kind and doing it because they don't want anything, and just doing it because they want to.
Okay, I'm going to challenge the thought now.
Okay.
Okay. How many of us have been offended because we felt like we were a project? Okay, will you go on that assumption? Okay. Whose problem is that being offended?
Yours. Well, yeah, you can't make anyone offend you. You know, like you're offended because it's your choice. But.
Yeah, and it's interesting how that turns out. Go ahead, Emily.
I have an example of almost exactly that from last night. I was playing softball, and I was playing a rover position, and they kept hitting the ball to me, but I had 3 boys around me, and it's a co-ed league, and they all just kept running towards where I was standing, and one of them was my brother, and I turned around, and I was like, do you want to play my position? And he was like, that's not the issue that we're having, Amber. The issue is we know you can catch the ball and we know you can play. We're just here to help you. And I was like, yep, okay, that's my bad. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. I should not think like that. You are correct. My fault.
But how humbling and yet how powerful of a moment for you to be able to recognize and to be able to accept that. That's a powerful moment. To say, wow, where my heart was, I was projecting this image, almost demonizing my brother. It's like, you jerk. And yet, really, and how often we get into this blame game. Now, here's a question that I want you guys to ask yourselves. And maybe you don't need to answer this publicly, but have any of you ever been violated? It could be physically, it could be your materials or possessions. There's sexual violation, I mean, there's a lot of violation. My wife and I were living south of the BYU campus, and we had a Suzuki Samurai with a soft top, so you could get in the back.
Sorry.
That's what we called it. Okay?
Sorry.
And someone unzipped the back, went in and took out our stereo. We felt violated. It was just this, and if you think about the feelings that come from being violated, that's what happens when we violate ourselves through self-betrayal. The negativity that, well, it's hard to describe the feeling as violation. But when we're violating ourselves. When we betray ourselves of who we are, who we naturally are. And yet, think about it. When we become defensive, that's not us. If I'm kind, if I'm loving, if I'm sensitive to others, someone may come out with me with a dagger, an emotional dagger. The real me, the kind me, would sidestep that bad boy and still be kind. But whenever I stay in that and I take it and I lash out, I'm violating myself. And that's where the unhappiness comes from. And that's where the blame game starts. And that's the sad thing. Let me read you a quote I think that's powerful. Let's see here. Projecting such interpretations upon everything around us is in many ways like living in a box of our own making. The walls of the box surrounding us are like that sunset backdrop. They are the negative interpretation we project onto others. You might think of these walls as falsification of reality, a distorted way of seeing, feeling, and thinking about other people that makes them seem offensive or malicious or otherwise untrustworthy. Remember, the people are really there, but we wall ourselves off from the truth about them by the false way we picture them. Here's another quote. This is just from a scenario. As long as I could identify my, you can put in boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever, as the monster, the one who prevented accomplishment, happiness, peace, creativity, etc., then I never had to face the part of myself that actually prevented those things. As long as I could assign blame, I never had to face the monster in me and take responsibility for my own life and fate. When we think about it, that's what we do. We place blame, and we don't want to accept the monster in us. And the more we betray ourselves, the more that lie that we create, the justification, that part of that dialogue that goes on, the more we do that, the more we become conditioned to that life and that thought process. And our thoughts and feelings can become distorted. And that can lead us to actions that are not healthy actions, and then behaviors that are not healthy. And yet we feel like it's justified and actually right. that's an important concept that underlies a student professor. Taking ownership of who we are and of our junk, so to speak, not placing blame.
So, I don't know if you noticed last time I was kind of, having a hard time. And it's because I just recently went through a breakup, and one of my really good friends decided to just start hanging out with him all of a sudden, like a lot. I was like, okay, and I was getting really mad at her, but I didn't say anything. It was like passive aggressive, and I kind of got over it, and so I go up to her and I was like, I'm sorry that I was acting so, I don't know, annoyed with you. I actually don't really know why I was annoyed with you. Like I couldn't come up with the true reason. And I realized I was just blaming her, for things, and I was very unhappy. And once I came to it, I'm happy, like once I realized it and got over it, I'm happy. So, just being positive about it, being true to yourself.
Then what is it that you think that you got over? You said you got over it. What is it that you think that you got over?
Well, I came to terms with just being friends with him, and that, maybe he isn't the best for me, type thing. And I think that helped me a lot because if she wants to be friends, who am I to stand in her way,
And so now the question